Yeah, alright. I'm gonna play Bant. A couple more people voted for Bant, so we're in. That's the deck we're playing. That's good. That's cool. It's definitely a fun deck. So happy to play it. Depending on what this could all go very badly, depending on what Jake decides to play. There are there are a couple decks that do really well against tempo, and if he plays one of his aggressive decks, we could be in trouble. All decks. Medium Jund. Damn it, Noel. I thought he posted a list. I was so sure. Hmm. All right. Who was it that was asking for the mono green deck? Are they still here? This hand is close, but it's a keep, I think. Whoever it was that was asking for the mono green deck. All right, we could be in trouble. Message like send me a tweet at me or something, or send me a message on Twitter, or even send me a message on Twitch. I guess would even be fine. 'Cause I'll find it for you, but I can't find it right now. It's gonna take a bit more work than I have time for right now, 'cause I gotta play this game at the same time. But I'm quite sure I can find the list. I know it's around. Uh, Pile driver. We could be in some real trouble here. The aforementioned aggro decks that kind of crush tempo. This is one of them. So if we draw white source like this turn, I think this is gonna be a real game. Cool, cool. The Twitter is at I think that's the Twitter. Pretty sure. Okay, we're in a lot of trouble. Cast this Vine Lasher Kudzu. Say go. Vine Lasher, as you can see, I think I mentioned that this deck really wants to be ahead. And Vine Lasher is a great example of a card that's really good when you're ahead, but really bad in situations like this, where it is a 1/1 for 2 that is on chump block duty. Great. Perfect. I see your tweet. I raise my hand. Yep, yep. Seething Song. Jeez, what's happening? Oh my god. Uh, oh my god, we're so dead. This is incredible. We're just like incredibly dead. Seething Song's really interesting. Jake really likes mana acceleration. I've noticed he's played Chromox in like pretty much every game or every deck that he's built. Like, yeah, he really likes the really. We're not facing Alex right now though. This is a deck that kind of looks like Alex's style. But yeah, like Seething Song too, like Dark Ritual and these styles of decks, which I think are cool ideas, like, and probably underrepresented ideas. Oh, okay. We'll keep this hand's close, but it has interaction with a 1-drop. We're gonna probably pay mana for this Cataxian Probe. This is the deck with Mardu Ascendancy, I think. Yeah, I think this deck does have Mardu Ascendancy. Yeah, he really does have some like fairly combo synergy based attacking things. Like this deck can easily Goldfish a turn 4 kill, I think. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm fairly confident. We're just gonna pay mana. Okay, so we have a target for our Thoughtseize, or for our Mental Misstep. The one question is whether we want to counter Thoughtseize or Fire Drink Crusader. Okay. Okay. Well, we'll see what he does. I think we'll just counter whatever he does first. Well, huh. It's actually a real question. No, no, I think we want to get the pressure off, so we'll counter this just to give us a bit more time. Oh, wow. Path was a good draw, but kind of an awkward draw, actually. I want to save this fetch land in case we draw Brainstorm. Our hand could use some slight improving for sure. So like, if I remember correctly, he didn't actually have anything super high impact. Like he's probably thought seizing us this turn, I think, is what's happening. Huh. Yeah. Man, drawing that Path Exile was really awkward. If I'd known I had Path Exile, I definitely wouldn't have mental misstepped, but... So now it's a question of whether we want to delay this Thoughtseize, and I think we do, because he's either going to take the delay with the Thoughtseize, or he's going to take the Geist of St. Traft. But he gets to set up a situation where he gets to take the card that he thinks is the most problematic one. And so, for those reasons, I think that it's worth doing. Okay. So, Scavenging Ooze, really good in these kinds of matchups. There's now a real question as to whether I play Geist this turn or Scavenging Ooze this turn. I think I'm going to elect to go with Geist. For 2-color decks, the fetch land count is 6 or 7. 6. The fetch land count is 6 for 2-color decks, and for 3-color decks, it's 9. Optimally, there's very few decks that choose consciously to play fewer fetch lands than they technically could. Yeah, well, Ooze uses all our mana as well, because we can ooze away this Fire Drinker Satyr. So they're both mana efficient. Like, we're not floating a mana either way. And playing Ooze, we get a chance to hold up Path Exile too if we wanted to. But I think the real consideration is actually that this is a better clock, and we're a little scared of what he can do unclocked. Ooze is just maybe too slow. I think there's a real consideration for the speed. Sulfuric Vortex. Well, that makes our Ooze look worse, that's for sure. But I'm actually probably okay with him playing Sulfuric Vortex into our onboard Geist of St. Traft. Yeah. Now we just get to go, fight you for 6. That's a good point. It's actually really interesting. Basically, every EDH deck that I've ever looked at has been over points. With very few exceptions. Oh yeah, is this thing coming off suspend this turn? Next turn. Perfect. Nice little extra 2 damage bump for us, which is good. Could be spicy. So he plays a fetch land. Man, scrolling through the Canadian Highlander Facebook group, the Victoria group, it's definitely an experience. There are a lot of posts. And I was so sure that one of those posts was a person posting a mono green deck list. I'm just so sure of it. Alesha is a blocker. Do we want a Rune Snag or do we want to just plant a Path? I think we'll just Path. We know he has a Porphyros in hand. Not that that actually does anything, but... oops. Well, fortunately this deck plays Plains, so... Yeah, Primeval Titan is already too powerful for EDH. The thing is... yeah, Green White Elves is really cool. That's Sam Abernathy's list. He really has a really creative way of thinking about the format. I really like his decks. So we can even destroy the vortex, I guess. Wait, did I just punt? Did we have lethal? No, we didn't have lethal. Okay, doesn't matter. So this is fine. This puts a bunch of threats on board. Yeah, the thing about EDH, I think, that people don't think about very often is that having three... Yeah, he's just going to die to his spells. Having access to, like, 3... or to 40 life at the start of the game is just, like, such a ridiculous cushion. That... Oh, he can just decline to cast it, actually. Alright, alright. Oh, he didn't decline to cast it. Okay. He could have, right? Like, you can just say no. Well, we stole a game, but I still think we're not favored. So this will be the really tough one. We got to do it on the draw. Oh, God. This hand is so close. I think I'll keep. Yeah, I'll keep. Swift Spear. Alright. Gross. Yeah, I mean, we've been getting lucky enough, so... Who's to say we won't continue to do so? There is an argument for playing Scalding Tarn and cracking it for Tundra here, but we might want green mana for some reason. Do we want Cataxian Probe? It's a real question. Like we'll definitely take the Sun Petal Grove. The Sun Petal Grove's okay. And it's just a question of like how much do we value seeing his hand? I think the answer is not enough to want to pay 2 life. So I think I'd rather just have a card. Yeah, I'd rather just have a card. I hope he doesn't play something we have to daze this turn, but obviously we will daze something really brutal. This is the issue, like daze on the draws. Okay, we're not dazing that, that's fine. Yeah, you just get so much more time to set up everything you're gonna do. And you're just like never under any pressure too in multiplayer games in the same way that you are in a sort of 1v1 environment. Okay, so this is better. We can now counter some kind of spell. But anyway, I don't know. I was never actually much of a big EDH fan before I played Highlander. Like I was definitely a Highlander first person. I think he doesn't have a land, so I'm just gonna hardcast Daze on this. There's also an argument for logic nodding and saving the Daze. How do I feel about that? Medium. Medium. Definitely medium. Yeah, alright. I'm in. I'll do it this way. If we are in fact denying him lands, then like we can still make our days good. Trying to end the game in a draw sounds challenging. Alright, Prowess. So we're going to take 4 this turn, but next turn we're going to play Vidalcan Shackles. We're going to be able to start leveraging that. Oh, nice. That was a good draw. So play this Shackles. Shackles is a really nutty card against aggro, and it's interesting because tempo, like, this card is, like, actively not good on tempo, right? Like, it's pretty slow. It's like 5 mana to do something. But blocks or becomes blocks. This Goblin Cadets is going to bounce around a lot. But it's just like so insane in some matchups that you're basically priced into playing it as an aggressive deck. So what do I want to do this turn? Because I can play Kasali Pride Mage plus use Vidalcan Shackles. That seems kind of good. Okay, I'm in. Kasali can just block potentially, but it also can attack. Goblin Cadets is like weirdly kind of a counter to Shackles. Like you can't leverage it in the same way. I think it's possible that Jake is overvaluing 2 power 1 drops. And could benefit from... I am going to activate now. He could benefit potentially from playing more 1-drop goblins that, though they only have 1 power, do some other things. Yeah, he does just have pikers in their 1 mana, but like now his mana's tied up for next turn. Like, I don't know. He's just kind of in an awkward place as far as this game goes. I maybe should have even cast Sword here. No, because he can chump block and then it's not as good. I think I'm going to cast Thrun, the last troll, leaving up. Assign blockers. Yep, all assign blockers like this. And then I will path this thing, or swords this thing, and like Legacy Storm put too much stress on him. That's interesting. I don't think of Legacy Storm as like explicitly really stressful for like to play personally. Like maybe you get put under pressure by or did you mean like put under pressure like by other decks? Like Delver decks put a lot of pressure on him, I imagine. Oh, he found the second land. That's good. Helix, Mike Casale, sure, that's fine. This is like the issue. Like I could have even dazed that, but I just like don't care. I'm much more worried about something that might interact with like my my Thrun or my Shackles. I'm just gonna attack with both things. We're not all that worried about dying. Yeah, see you, dude. Thanks for tuning into the stream. Oopsies. Chrome help. We don't need that shit. Get out of here. Yep, alright. We control it. Take 4. Go. Close this drop hole. Okay, so let's see what he draws. So you're just City of Brass. That's like could be bad, but I think we're just like kind of just set up to race basically anything he does at this point. I'm not 100% sure, but I feel pretty decent about it. All right, so what's he doing here? What is happening with this mana? Let's just daze this. Okay. So I do not want to untap any permanents. Drew a land. Don't think it matters. We will attack with all of our creatures. For some damages. Damages, damages, damages. Attack, 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 attack. And say go. It's been a good night for me, actually. I think like I'm undefeated on the night so far. Looks fairly promising to win this game, though I don't rule anything out at this point. Yeah, that's awkward. Thoughtseize to see that you're dead. What do we have? Like, float mana. Awkward. Alright, let's go to combat and attack with some creatures. We win the match. Cool. Well, that was fun. This deck's really powerful. You'll note actually, I mean, it's interesting. I was mentioning it earlier, but it is actually missing some cards. Yeah, budget lists are pretty chill. But yeah, like so this deck is missing a couple things, right? Like there's no Tarmogoyf in it. Is like the one glaring thing. And this deck really like all things considered, it like really wants a Tarmogoyf. I never drew Mana Gorger Hydra, but this is actually probably the best card to come out for a tempo deck in Highlander in a really, really long time. For a long time, like even though Tarmogoyf is like the most obviously good 2-drop, I actually think Quirion Dryad might be better. Yeah, Jake, that was pretty brutal. You got pretty unlucky. I don't even know that it's necessarily like you weren't playing enough lands either. Like it sounded like it was fine. But yeah, so like Tarmogoyf's good, but actually Quirion Dryad might be better. In these decks that play all these counter spells and stuff, Quirion Dryad just gets huge and oftentimes outgrows Tarmogoyf. And the same is true of Mana Gorger Hydra. Yeah, has trample, gets bigger than like it grows off their spells too, right? So like they cast you counter, it's a 3/3. Like that's already pretty nutty. But yeah, the growers are really good. I've played Rug before. Actually,